Excuse that, please. I have just fought with my phone 10 times in a row, and every time I go to press go live, it kept changing the direction of the camera when I hadn't pressed a dang thing. So, yeah, I'm done complaining about that, but it's not my fault of that crazy little start there with my fingers in the way. Deep breath. Especially, you're probably in that mood today as well. If you are joining me because you took one look at the Nine of Spades and thought that it might be speaking to you. This card has a kind of grim reputation, and it is one of the reasons why I got into cards tarot in the first place. Welcome to Spirituality in Sin City. I am your host, Rachel Hoyt, and inventor of the awesome deck, an awesome tarot journal. I'm going to do a little work on my art journal, junk journal this morning while we chat. If you have any questions about any card, doesn't have to be today's card of the day, please do throw them in the comments section. So, Nine of Spades. Clean slate is the number one keyword that I use with the Nine of Spades. And as I said, it has a rather grim reputation. I first began, so I did not believe in playing cards tarot growing up. I didn't believe in tarot at all. I thought such things came from evil sources. I was, at the start, a more conservative Christian, and I had wandered from that a bit at the point in my story that I'm describing. But essentially, I was playing poker and thought I was, well, I was trying to play logically in my mind. I was trying to follow the systems of, this is the best hand and this is when you should play it. It was not, we're not talking GTO times. This was long, long ago. And, but when I was making the so-called correct decision and was ahead, and in pretty much every time it happened, I was ahead in the hand. I was making the logical, correct choice. But as I was doing that, I was feeling that it was a bad idea. I was feeling the grim side of this clean slate. And there was often an all-in situation, clean slate in poker. And, well, there was another card there almost every time. It was the Ace of Spades. Also said to be one of the grimmest cards in the deck. I had heard that that one was called the Death card and that it had been used in Vietnam at that point, etc. So I knew about the Ace of Spades having some of a grim reputation, but I honestly did not know that playing cards tarot existed. But I kept just feeling this grim feeling when I was making the decision to I want this one to be more straight. I did a very similar design yesterday in the front of the book. And so, I want this one to be a little different. Not exactly the same. They're both arrows. So, anyhow, while playing poker, I kept having this grim feeling. Not every time that I saw the, Nine of Spades, Ace of Spades, for sure, but just at weird times when I should be very happy to be playing them, I was having these grim feelings of like, this is just not going to work out this time. And then it wouldn't work out. It would go exactly as my intuition had told me. And eventually I wandered onto a book about playing cards tarot, fortune telling with playing cards. Immediately turned to the pages that would tell me what those cards meant and and discovered their grim reputation, and that it really coincided with exactly what I had been feeling and what I had experienced. So I have mostly seen this card as the grim side of the card for a long time. And if you are feeling that right now, if you are feeling that disappointment and despair, and like you've just given everything that you can give and done all the right things, and yet you still failed, I'm very sorry that you're going through that. First and foremost, it's not fun. Um, these cards speak to life, and well, poker, it may be limited. Use all of the information I share for entertainment purposes only, please, at your own risk. But I have, experienced their truth in life and poker personally. It can only really be interpreted with intuition, in my opinion. Because as I said, in the past, I felt the grim side of this card when it appeared, especially in poker. Um, Even though it has a positive side to it, I didn't feel that one, if that makes sense. When it spoke to me strongly, it was generally the negative side. It might appear at other times, and I wouldn't feel it speaking. That might be my intuition needing strengthening. It might just mean cards don't always speak. I have not solved that dilemma, but I don't feel it's a dilemma. That's why I'm not working too hard to solve it. But lucky for me, I am today feeling the more positive side of this card for the first time. And so I want to share a little more of, my personal. I have been in the last few days, because I hope that it will inspire you and keep you just hanging in there in the tough times. I don't even want to say pushing on through or anything like that. Um, you might need to take a step back and relax if you can in any way in this type of a situation, because what you went through probably did completely wipe you out. Um, and the reason that I'm doing this image like so is because the positive side of getting wiped out is that the slate is clean and you're ready to start a new story, write a new book, new chapter in life, look for a new job, whatever it is that you just got wiped out about and are feeling emptied out by. That has created new space for something new to come in for you. So I have a couple of quotes. I'm ready for questions if you have anything you want to ask, but that didn't take me too long. As I said, it's matching what I did yesterday a little bit, but I did the arrow a little bit different because I will add to this at some point, and the point of the arrow being straight is that the story, the end, doesn't have to be the end. It doesn't have to feel so grim. I will write something along the lines of, this is not the end if you start again. So I have the arrows going as if you're just going straight over to a new book. So along those lines, I did look up some other people's quotes for us today. They're all pretty similar to what I was just saying, but J.K. Rowling said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." And the oldest Stoic saying is, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." It's a similar sentiment to the Ace of Spades. But in the case of the Ace of Spades, you're more at the pivotal moment versus the Nine of Spades, in my opinion, you're closer to the moment where you just got wiped out and the end just arrived. Uh, or you've already leaped past that in-between time where you're figuring out where you're going next and you're writing the first page of the book, like I am right now in life. I'm negotiating new job contracts and things like that, and pretty exciting. So, but this also gives me a chance to share one of my favorite poems that um, I've used as inspiration over the years. I am the type of girl who loves movies with happy endings, shall we say? And I feel like you need something prettier in the background, so let's just open up a different day for you to stare at. So, over the years, or kind of at the beginning of when my journey started to get hard, and I knew that I like happy endings and fairy tales and things like that, especially when I'm talking about writing, and just like that story arc, as silly and childish as it may be. But one of my favorite authors had put out a new book, and I picked it up posthumously. He put out this book. Shel Silverstein had a new book of poems, and I grabbed it and I flipped, randomly to some page, still standing in Costco waiting to pay for the book. I remember that's where I got it. And I found this poem. It said, "There are no happy endings. Endings are the saddest part. So just give me a happy middle and a very happy start." And that is what I have reminded myself every time I get that Nine of Spades feeling. It might be grim, but that is the reality of happy endings. They are the saddest part, but they do give you the chance to find another happy middle and very happy start. So, on that note, I have a lot to do for my very happy new start. So, unless you pop some hellos or chat questions in there pretty quickly, I will be heading out to start my day. But let's get one more card from the awesome deck for a little more advice for you. What do we need to hear today, awesome deck? What do we need to know? What is around the corner of our clean slate? Oh, lots of potential. All right, we will talk about this one tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Please do press like and subscribe. Really appreciate you being here, and have an awesome day.